Did you try telling Tommel that you have an appointment tomorrow and we can't go?
I did try that. Didn't work.
Huh.
Hello, and welcome to Khyber Shards, a 5th edition actual play show set in the Eberron Campaign world. I'm Philip.
I'm Eric.
I'm Colin.
I'm RA.
And I'm Casey.
And welcome to another episode. Colin, what happened last time, buddy?
I mean, yeah, not much, really. Nothing of note, nothing exciting. Just kidding. Pog got to go on a date with Solarka. We have had that happen.
I feel like you're skipping over Pog's attempt to use an appointment.
I'm late for a very important date. Pog was accosted in the square by Kolos, demanding a rematch, who then revealed that it seemed to be a little bit more of a fast lane and a little bit less of a WrestleMania type of deal. So there's like 4 people that are going to understand that. I'm super proud of you 4.
But I'm here.
Yeah, there's 2 left that are going to get that. So we got that to look forward to, needing to figure out what it is that Kolos is scheming with us. Went and got help from Shade and some kind of assistance from Esri going forward, having charmed Pog and made him far more charismatic than usual. The date went great until Ari's ability to mask his identity failed momentarily, and he was spotted.
I got distracted by Solarka dunking on me for a half hour.
He was spotted and then unspotted. And we managed to pull it all off. A little Cyrano action. Shade tried to convince Esri to play cards with a cat after he failed to explain romance to her. And then a week later, we cut to Ari very poorly attempting to do his job and being trapped. Well, you did not notice a door slammed shut and you got trapped in a room. Confronted by Tommel and told that the crew needs to make right the loss of the Elvish talisman, the Rubble Warren gang being the leverage used against us. He came back to the treehouse, told us what was up, and we are about to find out what this group is going to do going forward.
All right. So we will pick up right where we left off. We are in the common room of your treehouse. Cal, as usual, is occupying the sofa. And we are all here at the end of a workday. So it is, it's not quite sunset. It's not, I was about to say it's nearing sunset, but I just briefly a little while ago told you it was moving towards summer. But then again, I also told you live at the equator, so none of that's relevant at all. So anyway, the sun's still up.
Point of order. We are now at the end of week 7 since we started this little series. So Ari knows Giant now. Because we did initial 5 weeks.
And that was, Pog, and Pog's date took place at
Pog asked for help on the 3rd week. A week later, you told him what was up. We went on the date on week 5. So
dang it. Yep. We're week 6.
Yeah.
I conflated the Solarka date being after the initial 5 weeks.
Yes.
Okay.
Valiant effort. Shooters shoot. Shooters shoot.
You'll know Giant by the time that the games open.
Okay.
You'll know Giant right around the children's funeral is what we really need to be thinking about right now.
You'll know Giant before we ever reach level 4.
Anyway. Did you try telling Tommel that you have an appointment tomorrow and we can't go?
I did try that. Didn't work. So, well, yeah. Yeah. So he wants to meet tomorrow, presumably. I'm guessing the same time. We didn't like role play a time, but I'm assuming
Sure.
around the
You
same
were
time.
role playing with Tommel?
So my fear about bringing back up is it might escalate things unnecessarily. But at the same time, I don't want us to be in a position to be, I don't know. Tommel's kind of a short fuse, I guess. And he did not seem happy that Shade attacked him last time, which is fine, Jade. You were doing a good thing. So
Sorry.
I'm not upset. Tommel is. So I don't know. What do you all think? Should we concern ourselves with bringing backup in case a fight happens, or do we want to go along up to a point with whatever he wants to protect the kids?
How is Tommel calling the shots? I know he's not the top, but
It seems like in this particular group that he's running with, he at least is the one doing the talking. I think somebody asked if we should tell the kids and their families, and I just certainly don't think we should tell Mrs. Bright Doom. I don't think. I think if we play along, then the kids won't be in danger. The Moon Spears might handle that information better than Mrs. Bright Doom, I would imagine. If we wanted to tell them, I'm not going near Bajak's family. Well, actually, Ari would
Hold
know
on.
that. So
Yeah, I was
Ari
going to
would-
say I
Ari would
don't know that. I don't know that Pog
Yeah.
ever revealed that he recognized Bajak's last name.
I immediately knew it as soon as I said it. So yeah, I don't know anything about Bajak and Kadric's families, so I don't know if we could say anything. And Levexi is a black hole of information on my radar. So
oh, she's 7
what?
7 what?
years.
Okay.
I don't know what that means for a kobold, but
Yeah. Do any of us have a good beat on kobold aging?
Do they have different
It's an
years?
obscure science.
Yeah.
she's younger than all those kids, but she also might be older relatively. I don't know.
Yeah. So anyway, what do you all think? What I have my thoughts, but I think you all probably know them pretty well. So
Well, don't know how this is going to go over, but look, this is how this happen. This is how this works. That leverage, that doesn't go away. We do this job. It's not like suddenly he doesn't know that there are kids that we seem to care about. So doing the job doesn't fix the problem. If he's the one that's putting them in danger, he's the one that knows us, and he's the one that knows them. I think we need to find a way to take out the problem.
I can't imagine he's kept his information to himself. I mean, I get what you're saying. I don't know, Esri. Maybe it's me being nostalgic, but it's Tommel. I don't want to kill
And
Tommel.
Tommel was really cool back then. I don't know
Before
this
he had
person.
something awful happen to him. He was in the. He was in
Something.
the worst thing that has ever happened in any of our lifetimes. Yeah, it would change somebody, but that doesn't mean they're evil.
But that was old Tommel.
That's what I'm saying. Is
New Tommel has only done really bad things to us and people we've seen.
if that woman wasn't a marked member of the house, I don't think it would have been the way it was. I
But
think
she wouldn't have been there either. I mean,
He was they were intending to kill them. He was upset that she got out.
I'm with Ari on this. He's an aberrant marked too, and I just we're just gonna go kill somebody that's marked like us?
If we don't kill him, we have to have something equivalent. We have to find something to negate the threat.
And I agree that once we have something to stymie Tommel, if we need to do that, then I agree. If we can have something that indicates if you come after us or ours, then it will be equal trouble for you as you offer us, if not worse. We need time, though, and we're not going to get that by tomorrow. I mean, Tommel hates the houses. He hates everything about the houses. He hates the people in the houses. And I'm not inclined to disagree with him. His methodology is bad. I don't want to murder people in the street, which is where Tommel and I differ. But in my experience, it takes a certain kind of person to decide to align themselves with the houses. And they're not people that I generally want to associate with. Avia, obviously, member of that house. And I know 5-6 weeks ago, whenever I was really high on her and trusting her, but all I'm trying to say is I don't think Tommel's as bad as what it seems. I think he's a lot more similar to us. He's just around bad people. And if he were to, I don't know. I agree with what you're saying, Esri, in the second part of having something to stymie the leverage. Alternatively, we could try to encourage the families of the Rebel Warren to go somewhere, but we can't afford to pay for their passage to Corvair if they would even want to go to get out of the situation, or into the jungle. And so that's not really a viable option right now. I think our only option is to play ball right now. That's just me, though. That's from my perspective. I don't see another way to protect ourselves and the kids without going along with what he wants. And it's probably dangerous, and it's probably something we don't want to do, but
what is it he wants exactly?
He said that the amulet that the White Raven stole from him was a means to an end. Now, based on our interactions with him, I feel like Tommel's end involves something bad for the houses. I don't know about you all, but that doesn't sound bad to me. I'm just fearful for what that looks like. If it's something that drives them away from Stormreach, awesome. If it's something that kills 1,000 people, not awesome. And I'm aware that Venn diagram does have some overlap, but
What's a Venn diagram?
What's a diagram?
People with +3 intelligence will get it.
It's a famous diagramming system by the gnome Vin de Civis.
Yes. It's when you draw 2 circles and there's overlap.
Yeah.
So, 1,000
a
dead
circle
Dragonmark
overlap.
people. Yeah, classic. Yeah, that thing. 1,000 dead Dragonmark people. Reason for the Dragonmark house is to leave Stormreach. There's some overlap there. But I would rather... Yeah, anyway. We need to figure out what we're going to do.
I think we should go. We don't have enough time or information really to. This at least buys us some more time and then make the decisions. I think we should tell the Moon Spears.
Okay?
I think they.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I think of all the families, they would handle it the best.
Although Ilya could probably handle herself the best.
I would love to bring Ilya with us. But I would love to see Tommel try to take on Ilya. Anyway, in terms of backup, obviously the Swords of Karn I just mentioned in passing, but I think that's a bad idea. We'll be on Danelle's Pride turf, and I don't want to cause a street fight. That would be a distraction. No.
Of note, because you are familiar with these things, and it hasn't really been something we've dealt with a lot. Danelle's Pride has a very specific turf, and it's not all of Cross.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Danelle's Wrath.
Danelle's Wrath, yes.
Yeah, their turf is specifically the neighborhood called Danelle's Pride, which is delightfully confusing.
That was the Venn diagram in my brain. It was just a circle.
Yeah. The rest of Cross, Greystone is kind of, well, it's House Thrask's turf, but Saltier and the Sloths are the turf of the Swords of Liberty, and Saltier is no one's turf, which is why it's a middle-class neighborhood, because there's not a whole lot of gang violence. So Danelle's Pride does have a very, very specific turf that could theoretically be avoided, but just to the politics of Cross for you there.
Yeah. Or
I don't think there's any reason to bring other people with us unless we're going to fight.
Yeah.
Unless that's the intent.
Is the rubble warren is in the Cross, correct?
Mm-hmm. It's in the Sloths, I believe, is the section that it's in.
No, I agree with you, Ezri. I think that would be a bad idea. I mean, Danelle's Wrath don't like the Stormhammers at all. So, I mean, just they might be... If something goes bad, they would be nearby, and I think they would be not too broken up about the idea of cracking some Stormhammer heads. But that's just a plan F.
Okay, but if we're going to go and talk to him without people, that means we're going to do what he tells us to.
Yeah. If we don't, then the kids are in danger. Because I guarantee
At the very least, we're going to say we are.
But if we don't, the kids are in danger.
I don't think he's given us enough rope to do this on our own. I imagine he might be tagging along. Maybe not, but yeah. This seems like something he really, really wants. And so I don't think we'll be just left to our own devices to accomplish the task.
Philip,
Yes.
are you free to answer a question?
Yeah, sorry. I've got...
It's okay.
He's wrangling.
I am wrangling.
This
but
is
I'm
me
getting
being
it.
very asking for very specifics, so you can tell me to shove it if you need to. Can you give me a scale of the city of Stormreach in terms of mean, is it miles across, or it doesn't look that big.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying to figure out how big it is.
So, Stormreach is at its. Okay, so it's long and it's longer than it is wide on our map. At its widest point, it's about a mile across.
Okay.
And probably that and a half long.
And then how we got a really good look at this amulet, right? Like he was admiring it like right in front of us in this alley.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. And Ari got a natural 20, I think, on his history check to analyze it.
Okay. Just trying to think through some things here.
Have I picked up enough giant? Well, I didn't. I would be basing it off memory.
You would have needed a.
Let me go back into my mind palace.
Was it the cross upright or cross down?
I feel like this is the one instance where that feat keen mind would actually be helpful.
Don't watch much Critical Role, do you?
Yeah, it comes up a lot. Sometimes I think to the DM's chagrin.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
That's Liam's role, is to ruin rules.
fair.
Anyway, so yeah, I mean, it seemed important, it seemed valuable, and it's a means to an end. It had giant ruins. It was made by elves. That's what I can tell you. It was metallic, but yeah, I imagine it probably has something to do with the ruins, or I don't know. We don't need to waste our time just guessing.
I just want to say, I'll do whatever we're going to do, but I don't think that working with Tommel is going to be good. You guys I
agree.
I just want to say that.
Yeah.
That's all. I think this is a bad idea.
I agree. I don't want to work with him. I just don't see another way out, is my thing. I don't think it's a good idea, but I think it's the best idea we have, unfortunately. Unless we're ready to
What
go to
time
war
is
with the
this tomorrow?
Stormhammers. What?
What time are we meeting him tomorrow?
A few hours ago from now, tomorrow.
Middle of the afternoon.
Yeah. 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock in the
That
afternoon.
was a very British way of explaining a time. A few hours
okay.
ago from now tomorrow.
So yeah, clear your appointments, and
Pog's going to stand up and go to his room.
good night, buddy.
This is evening, but I want to go to my workshop now,
Okay.
and I would like. Well, are we done talking? Sorry. Is that it?
We didn't. Are we going to meet here and go over together? Or are we just meeting at the spot at 2? I would prefer to meet here.
Probably
like
go
1:30.
together.
Yeah. Let's meet here at 1:30.
I'm gonna go tell
Pog,
the
we're meeting at
Moonspears
1:30
tonight.
tomorrow here. Sorry.
What
what
No
was that?
response.
I don't know if anybody wants to go with me to the Moonspears, but I was gonna give them as much time as possible.
They don't. Do you even need? I mean, warn them. Fine. I didn't seem like the type who needed warning, but no harm. I think.
If you want Ari to go, he's more than happy to go, but he doesn't think he will be much help in this. So
Shade's fine going by herself. She's not a people person, obviously, but she knows the Moonspears, and they know she's not a people person. So,
Before you go, I'm going to try this and be upfront. I'm not going in without a plan B. I'm going to have some contingencies.
Do you want to share what those are?
Are you going to charm Tommel?
No, that hasn't worked very well.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm going to see if I can prepare some substances to fall back on if we need to. And I'm going in prepared to take advantage of an advantage if we discover one. We'll try the easy way first.
Oh. What happens the day after your plan B? If stuff pops off in this shop? I mean, Esri, we're going into a high tense situation that requires a lot of back and forth and negotiation, and you're not the best under pressure, buddy. A lot of times, and so if you're in there with a poultice that is gonna sear Tommel's face off, I'm worried about your trigger finger.
Pog
Ari
walks
used
out
to
of his
think-
room and crosses to the kitchen.
Hey, buddy.
It will be more subtle than that, and I'm not talking about walking into a... Where are we meeting again?
An abandoned shop that they use as a front.
Not walking into a shop and throwing acid in his face.
Okay, okay.
Is
Back
there
to
a
his
way
bedroom with
that
a
we
bowl
could,
of water.
Good night,
like-
buddy.
Closes the door.
Is he bathing?
Maybe. What? I mean, we think we're gonna have to get the thingamabobber back, right?
I'm going in there with the thought and the intention that we are going to have to capitulate to Tommel's demands for the sake of the kids. Try to get the best terms possible. Try to make it to where maybe we can operate independently, or maybe with a Stormhammer instead of them breathing down our necks the whole time. But I don't think there's a way we walk out of this without agreeing to do a job. And that's my thought process going into this. I don't like it, but I'm worried about Donabella, Kadric, Levexi, Bajak, Ilya. I'm not worried about Ilya. Ilya will be fine. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know about you all, but that's my intention going into this conversation. Is the knowledge that we're going to have to do something we don't want to do. And an alternative makes me scared for the kids.
I don't always know my intentions going into things. But I definitely don't want the kids to get hurt because
too.
of us.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. I don't know how to best make that happen.
I think for now, just playing ball, I think is the best way to make that happen. But until we have time to build up some resources to back us up, where we can prove to Tommel that either we can... I would love to soften Tommel a bit, but enough to show that the Stormhammers can't mess with us, whether Tommel's involved in that or not.
So I would like to go to the lab and or the lab seems generous, but the space, and I
Calling it a lab makes you
haven't
feel
really
better.
done much of this. I'm not really sure mechanically what I'm asking for, but I would like to try to prepare a couple poisons, or at least one poison that could be either applied to a blade, or probably applied to a blade. And then if there was a way to make something that would be like strongly inebriating.
Okay.
That would also be
So yeah, I mean, you can make a poison. Making a poison. So there are different kinds of poison, obviously. Some kinds of poison will simply inflict harm on the victim of either ingesting or contact or injury or however you want the delivery method to be worked out. And then there could also be poisons that would make you sick or knock you unconscious or something like that. So what are you going for?
the idea of the poison would be something to make it easier to kill him in a fight, or for him to die in a fight.
Okay.
I mean, in a general sense, it would be cool if there was something that, like, cool, not me, but that could poison him and kill him slowly. But it's magic healing world, so probably not really much of a thing.
Right.
So
So anything that would inflict the poisoned condition would cause the target to have disadvantage on all attack rolls and ability checks, which would certainly forward the goal of making someone easier to kill. And then the obviously a poison that just does direct damage would technically also forward that goal. So which path do you think you would like to take?
poisoned condition probably.
Okay.
would-
Cool. So you are going to be trying to make. We're going to use drow poison, which seems thematically appropriate. Which requires a Constitution save or be poisoned for an hour. And if the save is failed by 5 or more, the creature is also unconscious while poisoned.
Perfect.
So poisoned with the possibility of a knockout. So make a roll, and this is going to be intelligence with your proficiency.
Okay. I'm gonna first cast enhance ability on myself.
Nice. Nice.
And do I need to buy any componentry for this?
You've been collecting a lot of things, and you haven't made anything useful to you with it. So I'm going to say that you've probably got the things to mix this together, because
Okay.
a number of the things that you have are really only useful for this kind of thing. So
All right. So rolling intelligence with advantage and adding proficiency.
I imagine that you probably do sell some poison through Geralt, but I imagine a lot of what you sell is like medicinal stuff as well. It's just-
Medicinal stuff.
no, I actually meant it, but
Yeah, I know.
That'll be a 16 total.
16. Okay. You have made 1 vial of drow poison. which is an equipment item on D&D Beyond, so you should be able to just add it. But if
It is?
not, I
Okay,
can.
yeah.
Okay.
After
I will
Shade leaves,
try
by
to
the way,
find it.
just to Ari wants to go check on Pog after Shade goes to talk to the Moon Spears, but I just wanted to.
All right. So Shade, you are going to find the Moon Spears. How do you do that?
Well,
You know where Soleil works.
right. I assume I have some knowledge of where to find them during the day. And
Yeah.
you said it was not sunset yet, so
Oh, that's fair.
I go there.
Okay. So you go and hang out near the bridge across the river, coming back into town, and more or less just wait. What's the river called? Koronu, the Koronu River. And oh, sure. Yes, as the sun is starting to get low, you do see Soleil coming in with a group of adventurers beginning to cross the bridge.
What do their masks look like? The adventurers.
Oh, ha. Yes. They have no masks. They're
I
wonderful
entertain
adventurers.
you. Yeah. Thanks for the pity laugh, Philip. I'll be over here.
I will not interrupt his business. Absolutely let him say his goodbyes, collect his coin. He is an observant person. I'm sure he sees me. So
Yes, he certainly sees you. And after, he sees you and there is eye contact. Do you indicate in some way that you want to talk? Because seeing you here would not be particularly remarkable.
right. No, she definitely does like a shy little.
Okay.
And then she would start heading towards him as soon as
Okay.
his clients left.
He makes his way over and he gives you a nod.
She nods back. I just wanted to let you know that there is some danger. The group that saw Ilya and her friends with us, they were not very pleased with our intervening, and they threatened to hurt the kids if we didn't do what they wanted. Our plan is to do what they want, as far as we know. But I just thought you needed to know. And Ilya is an impressive fighter. But I just wanted to let you know that someone had threatened her and her friends. And I also wanted to just, yeah, I'm sorry they're in this situation.
Soleil is quiet for a fairly long moment. Who are these people?
It's the Stormhammers.
What do they want you to do?
I don't know. They have told us to meet them somewhere tomorrow. I think they'll want us to steal the thing that we interrupted them stealing.
Thank you for telling me. We will keep Ilya close.
Okay. I don't know most of the other parents, and I don't know how well they would handle that information. I thought you would handle it very well. Should you do you should we tell other parents? Do you want to tell the other parents?
The PTA.
I do not know their parents.
Okay. Okay. All right. Stay safe.
Thank you for telling me. You also.
Angie walks away.
Okay.
Unless this was the first time that she had. No, this wouldn't have been their first time. Never mind. Continues.
Okay.
I knocked on my desk and Kylo perked up like, oh, is somebody? It's like, no, please don't start. It was me. It was all a lie.
All right. Eric, you said that Ari was going to talk to Pog.
Yeah, just Pog's demeanor is not lost on Ari. So, yeah, he goes and knocks on Pog's door if it's shut, door frame if it's not.
It is shut.
Okay, so knocks on his door. Pog,
Yes.
you want to talk?
I'm okay.
I know you are. Do you think that we should go tell Mrs. Brightdoom?
I don't know, Ari. I don't know what to do here.
Okay. If you want to talk about it, I'm here. If you don't, though, then I'll respect that. But
I don't, Ari.
okay.
Inside, in front of his windowsill, Pog has his leather blanket from his childhood laid out across the windowsill, and every weapon he owns is up next to him. The bowl of water being used to wet a stone, which he is sharpening every one of them in just quiet anxiety right now.
Okay.
What all weapons does he own?
2 hand axes, Fury's Edge, and a javelin, which has not yet been used.
I'm thinking out loud right now about whether or not Ari would go tell Mrs. Brightdoom, because it just seems like the biggest of jerk moves to not tell her. We didn't discuss it as a group. She might panic, but her daughter's been in a lot of danger recently. So I think the better thing to do is to go let her know. So Ari's gonna head out.
Okay. So you're
This
gonna
was
go.
literally him kind of pacing around the common room, having this thought in his head, and it's like, yeah, okay, let's go. So
All right. So you head across to the Bright Doom residence.
looking over his shoulder a lot on the walkover.
Make a perception check.
Natural one.
Awesome.
Ari is kidnapped.
Yeah. Ari just there's suddenly a bag is over your head.
Memory, all alone in the moonlight.
Jellicle cats.
That's what's going to every time I fail a perception check. I'm singing "Cats" at you, Philip. That's
What did I do?
Reacted.
All right.
Someday Ari will get to do something he's good at.
No, I get to do plenty that I'm good at. I just love giving Philip.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You make it. You arrive at the bridegroom residence.
Yeah. Ari knocks on the door.
Okay. The door opens and Mrs. Brightdoom is there, and her eyebrows furrow a little bit.
Ari, Pog, Shade, and Esri's friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Of course.
Hi. Can I step in? I have something I need to talk to you about.
Very well. And she opens the door and says, What is the matter?
So, when we brought Donabella back, and she kind of rambled about all of the things that had happened. I don't recall whether or not she mentioned that we ran into some trouble on our way out from underneath the city, with some Stormhammers. That one of them has a history with myself and my companions from back in our days in Khyber. And anyway, they saw Donabella with us, and my own fault. I tried to allow them to leave, kind of betraying the fact that we care about the kids' well-being. And now the Stormhammers they're trying to use Donabella as leverage against us to get us to do what they want. Our intention is to do what they want, but I felt like you deserve to know. I don't know if they know where you live. They found out where we lived pretty easily. So I wouldn't guarantee that they don't, but, yeah, I wish I had some action for you to take, but I figured just letting you know was worth it.
All right. I don't know what.
I know.
We'll stay with friends tonight. I wish the watch were worth anything.
Me too. What district are we in, Philip? Sorry.
You are in Cross.
Okay. Yeah, I do too. Best bet to keep the Stormhammers at bay is the Wrath, but I don't have enough connection with them to provide anything in that regard.
She nods. Well, thank you for warning me, and
How much, Philip? How much does a room at the Sword and Sheath cost?
regular accommodations at an inn, probably a matter of a couple silver.
If you want, I'm sure you have friends that you can stay with, but there's an inn that Pog works at, a tavern that has rooms to rent.
The Sword and Sheath.
Yeah, that is
He had
under
dinner
the
here.
Okay. It's under the protection of the Swords of Karn. Stormhammers know to not go sniffing around there. I'd be more than happy to. I've done a job for Carl. I'm sure that I can make arrangements for you where you and Donabella could stay there. The extra level of security.
Yes, that. Thank you. That would be.
Yeah.
Donabella, you need to pack some clothes. We're going. Yes, says, and she's obviously right at the bottom of the stairs listening to your conversation. But you have
Donabella.
terrible perception. So,
Yeah, of course. Donabella could have been stabbing me in the back the whole time.
you hear footsteps up the stairs. Thank you. We'll head in that direction.
Yeah, I'll head that way ahead of you and make sure everything's ready when you arrive.
Okay.
And then that's what Ari would head to Sword and Sheath and make accommodations with Carl. And why not? Can I cash in a point with the Swords of Karn to have someone at the inn? I know that's not in your fancy list of options, but you know.
Yeah, you're able to get
An intern.
Give me a persuasion check. See, I'll let you do something you're good at.
Thank you. 23.
Okay. Yeah, Carl says he'll make sure someone's at the inn
I appreciate it.
for the night.
And pays 2 silver.
Okay. Cool. All right. Any other preparations moving into the next day before going to the meeting?
Yeah.
Casey looks like she has something.
Yeah. The Moon Spear's comment of like, well, I don't know the parents either, encourages Shade to just go to the Rebel Warren gang and just let them know that they need to be on the lookout
We'll
and
come be
encourage
back up.
them not to seek it out.
You go to the Rebel Warren and you do not find the Rebel Warren gang.
Oh. I'm not going to start just talking to random other kids hanging out at the Rebel Warrens.
Hello, fellow kids.
All right.
Do you go on adventures too?
Where's your
Not knowing anyone else's plans after he concludes, Pog has everything loaded up and leaves the empty treehouse, and does not know. I don't know if they've left or not, but it would have been well after Ari's talk. Goes and tries to get up into the perch that Shade had told him of to watch the Bright Doom house. You can tell me if I see them leave or not, but that is Paga's gonna go watch overnight.
Dude's still up there eating his sandwich.
I would say probably you would encounter either them or Ari on your way, and learn of the arrangement.
This
That
would
has
have
been
been
made.
a while after Ari, so I'm imagining that by the time I get there, he's probably at the sword arrangements.
Okay.
So it's whether or not I see them, really.
Okay. Then yeah, you probably encountered them along the way.
I will follow them at a distance. They are going for the night. I imagine she's shuffling with some kind of urgency.
Yeah.
And keep watch from wherever I can across the street, just to keep an eye on who's going in.
Okay. Anything anyone wants to do the next day, with the morning or the afternoon in order to get ready? Any other influence you want to try to cash in? Any other?
Take a long rest.
Sure, you can certainly take a long rest.
It's like I never
Shape.
pushed anything.
Would like to double check the Robo Warren.
Okay.
No, they weren't there
see.
last night. She'll check this morning.
They are not there.
Good. Probably means they're home with their families. Okay.
Lexi's home with her 12 kids, taking care of them.
Pog didn't hear the time
actually-
scheduled to meet, so I'm just going to be back by noon
Okay.
following the
So
bright
I
dooms
don't
until then.
actually have a blade of any sort.
Do you know who sells real good blades?
Esri, you know that Ari has 2 daggers that literally have no use to him. So if you want one of Ari's daggers, you can have it.
Well, the thing is, they're not going to
they're
be
in the
a lot
communal
of
pot.
use to me either. So I think I will spend some time explaining to Shade. Boy, I don't know if this is a good idea or not. Explaining to Shade the poison that I made, how it works. How many doses does it? Is it just one
It's
dose?
one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that explain that you have a blade, right?
I do.
Yeah, that you can apply it to your blade for one use, and make it very clear that the intended use is on Tommel if we we need to in a fight. So
I get it.
just hold on to that. It in the normal course of things would be really valuable. I've never made it before. It's kind of a lucky first try. So do be careful with it. It's not easily replaceable.
I will be very careful with poison in a bottle.
Okay.
All right. I just want to ask, because you brought something up between sessions, Colin. You don't want to mess with that.
Nope, the decision was made by the
Okay.
group to not have people go along, and so
All right.
nope.
Okay. Then that is where we will leave it.
No.
We're approaching an hour if we're not right at it. I forgot to turn my timer on, but
It's 58
1
minutes.
minute
but
short.
I don't know why this episode is.
because it's 10:40.
Because it's 40 minutes past my bedtime.
Right. So that's why.
Yeah,
So we will leave it there and see how this goes down next time. Really thought we were about to have a gang rumble.
yeah.
Boy, I hope not, because I should just made the decision to not go that route.
We're not necessarily not going to have one.
We reserve the right.
We decidedly
Un-
don't have
unless-
a gang on our
I was
side,
gonna
so
say,
it's
unless
just
Yet.
unless you four comprise a gang.
Not when we walk up.
All right. Well, we'll see how this goes. Thank you all for watching. Let us know what your plan for dealing with Tommel would be in the comments below. We're obviously not going to change the plan, but what would you do if your gang was in this situation?
if you were the parent of a child in imminent danger, would you want to know? Because this group of people had to debate that point.
That is fair. That is fair.
Wow. Anyway, if you'd like to get in touch with us, we are on all socials as The Geek Pantheon. You can also, of course, leave comments below, and we will check those out too. Below in the description, you will also find a link to our Discord, where most of the people here are fairly active. You can get in touch with us and discuss this show, other Geek Pantheon stuff. You can also find Eric streaming on twitch.tv/The Geek Pantheon on Sunday mornings, Monday and Tuesday nights. You can find Colin streaming at twitch.tv/sorrybtr. The O is a 0. Colin's streaming schedule is slightly irregular, so hit that follow button. You'll get notified when he goes live. And I think that's all the things. I think I did it. Ha!
Nailed it.
Anyway, thank you all for watching. I am Philip.
I'm Eric.
I'm Colin.
I'm RA.
And I'm Casey.
Thanks for rolling with us.